7. Barrett outside the switch. Doncic goes on.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope you guys are doing well, and today I'm going to be talking about Cameron Payne, someone who really went through some adversity in his NBA career, but now he has really found himself a home with the Phoenix Suns. Monty Williams has really played him throughout his strengths, and now he's a key X factor for the Phoenix Suns when it comes to the playoffs, specifically in this matchup up against the Lakers in the first round. But it has not been an easy NBA career or basketball career in general, as he did not get a lot of scholarships when it came to the high school level, only standing at 5'5" his freshman year of high school, but luckily he did have a growth spurt growing to 6 foot. A lot of people did label him a bust after being a lottery pick by the Oklahoma City Thunder, but he did not really go to the right situation. He was known as this dude, the man that danced with Russell Westbrook, but now he's balling out with the Phoenix Suns. So I'm going to be talking about the adversity that Cameron Payne went through, and now he's a very solid piece for the Phoenix Suns moving forward, and he really solidified himself as a solid player since the NBA bubble with the Phoenix Suns as well, going undefeated 8-0, but sadly that was not enough for them to go to the NBA playoffs. But yes, I love stories like this. Players grow at different times. Some players don't come in the league and dominate right away, especially when you go to a win-now situation of the Oklahoma City Thunder. If you guys end up enjoying this video, be free to give me a thumbs up and click that subscribe button for more content. Let's get right into it. As going back to Cameron Payne, when it came to the high school level, he was not really heavily recruited. He was not a 5-star recruit. He wasn't in the top 100. He did go on to get a scholarship though from William Small of the Murray State Racers, as he was forced to start after an injury occurred to the starting point guard at the time, but he definitely did not look back, having a 21-point outcome when it came to the season opener at home. And in his freshman season, he continued to dominate, averaging 16.8 points per game, 5.4 assists per game, 3.6 rebounds, and 1.7 steals. A lot of people criticized his play, especially because he wasn't the tallest in the world. Of course, he went from 5'5" to 6 foot when it came to the high school level, so that definitely did help having that growth spurt. But when it comes to the NBA, you must be really good if you're dominating at 6 foot. You have to really have a notable skill. But what scouts loved and what college coaches loved is how hard he played out there on the basketball court on both ends of the floor. He really knew how to get to his spots with his basketball IQ. In his sophomore year, he definitely did not look back, as he improved from 16.8 points per game to 20.2 points per game, 6 assists, 3.7 rebounds, 1.9 steals per game, and he went on to declare for the NBA draft. He was one of the biggest pests when it came to the college basketball level. Again, he did not give up on a play. And some adversity came his way. During the pre-draft workouts, Payne broke his ring finger. He was selected 14th overall by the Oklahoma City Thunder, but I did not really think that was the best situation going to a win-now mode team. Of course, they're trying to compete and win for a championship with a Kevin Durant and with a Russell Westbrook, and not like he was really going to solidify himself as the backup point guard. At the time, DJ Augustine was a solid backup point guard, and he's really proven himself in the league, as he was sent down to the D-League, getting called up and down a few times. But on December 29th, he had 16 points versus the Milwaukee Bucks in a win, and the season finale as well, he scored career highs of 17 points and 7 assists in a nail-biting loss to the Spurs. But his second season really did not work out, as he went through a lot of adversity with injuries, as he did not go on to play much that season or really have any quality minutes, so the Oklahoma City Thunder really gave up on him and decided to package him in a trade. As the Thunder were really disappointed in Cameron Payne. He couldn't stay healthy, and also when he was out there on the court, he did not look like a lottery pick. He would show flashes, but his jump shot did not really transfer over, and he really did just struggle overall scoring the basketball and getting to his spots. It was not the same Cameron Payne that we saw at Murray State, as on February 23rd, 2017, the Thunder moved on from Payne, trading him along with Joffrey Laverne and Anthony Morrow to the Bulls in exchange for Taj Gibson, Doug McDermott, and a 2018 second-round draft pick. He spent some of the time in the D-League with the Chicago Bulls. As bad news, more injuries hit him. He was rolled out 3 to 4 months after undergoing surgery on his right foot. A lot of Bulls fans did not like him, but they kind of ended up liking him towards the end of the season because they wanted a tank for a high draft pick. He was known as the tank commander. He definitely did show flashes, but a lot of Bulls fans wanted to play him at the end because they kept on losing and he did not live up to expectations in a Chicago Bulls uniform of being that lottery pick some people thought they were going to get. The Chicago Bulls went on to waive Cameron Payne so then they could pick up Aaron Brooks, who is now one of the coaches of the New York Knicks. On January 16th, Payne signed a 10-day contract, already playing with his third team in a small amount of years. With the Cavs, he also signed a 10-day contract after not really getting the opportunity he thought he deserved after the first 10-day. In those 9 games, he averaged 8 points per game and 19.6 minutes per game. It wasn't enough as they parted ways with him after his second 10-day contract expired, and they already had 3 point guards at the time. Now moving on to his next team in the Toronto Raptors uniform, and he actually got this opportunity with the Toronto Raptors because he balled out after being called up by the Dallas Mavericks Summer League team, so then he ended up getting an opportunity with the Toronto Raptors. On July 25th, 2019, Payne signed a contract with the Raptors as he played for 12 minutes in a preseason game. 4 months later, he was waived as Cameron Payne started to really get this reputation as he's not good and he's an NBA draft bust, as no NBA team wanted him. As Cameron Payne decided to take a chance and play overseas for the Shenzi Longs. He played in 2 games for the team, averaging 22.5 points per game, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals, getting it done on both ends of the floor, but he actually went on to be replaced on January 2nd, 2020. As it didn't really take him long to be picked up by an NBA team, 23 days later, he actually ended up being picked up by the Texas Legends, a G League team. He really actually ended up balling out. He ended up being named G League Player of the Week, averaging 23 points per game, 7 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block, leading the Legends to a perfect 3-0 record, and he really showed out there that he was a more disciplined basketball player, and he was letting the game come to him. After really struggling with consistency with his jump shot in the NBA, he really worked on his mechanics, his footwork, knowing where to be out there on the basketball court, and letting the game come to him. He looked a lot more disciplined, as the Suns actually went on to pick him up on a 2-year contract, and this is a move a lot of people criticized because they had Javon Carter at the time, who of course came out of West Virginia, someone who was known as a good defensive player. A lot of Suns fans did not like this, and some NBA fans questioned this move because they were like, Javon Carter plays good defense and he might even be a better offensive player than Cameron Payne. And at the time, people just looked at Cameron Payne as nothing, like what was the point of this move? But it actually turned out to be a low-risk, very high-reward type of move by the Phoenix Suns. On June 30th, 2020, he was a part of the Suns team that went undefeated in the bubble, going 8-0. In those 8 games, he averaged 10.9 points per game, 3 assists, 3.9 rebounds per game, along with 1 steal, on insanely good shooting splits, shooting 85.7% from the free throw line, shooting 51.7% from 3, and 48.5% from the overall field, as he really showed that he could be a pest on defense and a winning basketball player. Cameron Payne also tweaked his jump shot a little bit. Not a huge difference, but if you take a look at his hand placement and also his base, and he's definitely done something with his follow through to really make it quicker at the next level. Because that was a concern of mine when it came out of Murray State. Will he be able to get a shot off quick enough up against NBA defenders really closing out on him? But he's been a great facilitator, getting the defense to collapse, finding people down low, if it's him outside on the perimeter or even down low. Because he is sneaky quick, getting the defense to attract to him, and just being a fantastic, smart basketball player. I'm not saying he's being this all-star type of player, but when it comes to his instincts, he has been fantastic, and he's just been an overall team player on both ends of the floor, making huge plays happen. He wasn't hurting the team like some people thought in the past. He went from the tank commander to being a very solid player for the Phoenix Suns, but it does not stop there. We all knew he was very capable of this. He was a lottery pick for a reason. It just all came down to putting it all together and filling in his frame, coming back stronger. He ended up being a more physical player, taking it stronger to the rack. After his successful time in the bubble, the Suns picked up his second-year option, continuing successful production he had in the bubble, becoming the backup point guard full-time. As a lot of people were really confused when they first off required him because they had Javon Carter at the time, and they're like, wow, we just picked up his second-year option just because he played good in 8 games for the Phoenix Suns. That move is not smart at all. But he actually ended up proving a lot of people wrong, being a main contributor in the regular season as well. making key plays on both ends of the floor, and now he's become a huge X factor for the Suns in the playoffs, averaging 13 points per game, 4.5 assists per game, 3.3 rebounds, shooting 42% from 3, and playing good defense for the Phoenix Suns. He has really balled out when it comes to this Lakers first round matchup. Let me know down below, what were your thoughts on Cameron Payne when he was first drafted? This just shows right here that everyone grows at totally different times. They're not going to be great right off the bat, or they're not going to be solid right off the bat. It takes players different times to adjust, but thank you so much for your great amount of support, and as always guys, have a humble day or night. Peace out, yo.